Hey, what is going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning into another video. I would like to do a 5 things that I dislike or really hate about this Neca TMNT van. Actually, what I'm going to do is let's get it off this stand. I think it's blocking my beautiful face that you guys want to see so bad. Sorry, it's actually not a stand for this. This is for a 5th or 6th scale remote control monster trucks, so a little bit inappropriate sizing. I was trying to spin this around for you guys when we were talking about it, but you just have to do with me hand turning it around just like this. So guys, once again, I already did a review video pretty much the day that I received this from FedEx unannounced with no tracking or anything, which is sort of like my first impressions of the van. I've had some time to really you know, now that I've had some ownership on it for about like a week or so, I've had some time to check it out, a little bit further details. I've been watching other videos and just following a lot of the chat groups and Facebook and other pages to see like some of the things people don't like. So yes, this is going to be the 5 things that I hate about the Neca TMNT van. Now, before we even dive into it, I'll be really crystal clear about this. I actually still love this van. It's going to be a little bit of a catchy thumbnail that hopefully you guys can click this video and you'll enjoy the video, and we'll discuss once again really the 5 things I dislike, and it's going to be in order from least to some of the biggest issues that I think this has, and really I'm going to save the last 2 where I think Neca really made some mistakes. But ultimately, this is still a badass vehicle. I'm glad I picked it up. I still think it's worth the $250, even though they held on to our money for a good year and a half. So without further ado, guys, let's dive into the 5 things I dislike, or I should say hate, about Neca's TMNT van. So coming in at number 5, now this was shipped to me in a sample box, but I'm pretty sure it's the final production. So comment below if you have one of these and what I'm about to say doesn't make sense to you. So they advertise this as rubber tires, and I don't know what to tell you. These feel like a soft plastic to me. So even the battle wagon behind me here, I don't know if that's in frame, has like rubber tires. I don't know how they can classify this as rubber tires. Maybe it is, but like, you could fool me by telling me these are rubber tires. Not the end of the world, but if you want to advertise rubber tires, give me some rubber tires. Coming in at number 4, and this one I'm not going to hold against Neca too bad, but this is more of my preference, the color. The green's fantastic. The yellow, I just wish this was more yellow. So this might be accurate to the cartoon, which is why I'm giving Neca a little bit of slack with this. But to me, it's a little too flat yellow. I'd like to see a little bit more of a yellow. This is like that grapefruit yellow that you would see. I don't know if you're familiar with like an 80s Nissan Z. I'll flash that up. That kind of like gives me those vibes of what this yellow looks like. It might be pretty accurate, which is what they're going for. But I still would have liked to see a little bit more yellow. Obviously, depending on how the light hits it, it's a little bit more yellow. But this is in like a darker room. It almost doesn't seem yellow at all. Coming in at number 3, which sort of ties in with number 1, but unfortunately didn't work out that way for this video, is Fitment. So these rear doors, there we go, are nice and sturdy, and I like that, which we'll dive into the issue I have with number 1 momentarily. But the Fitment, I would like to see the Fitment just be a hair bit better. If I shut these doors, I think I have to shut them in a certain order. Like, if I put this first, yeah, it won't shut, so I have to, hold on, be careful here. I don't like that sound. There we go, shut that first. There we go. But just the overall Fitment, I feel like could be a hair bit better. I know it's not, it's a display piece, which we'll dive into. Really want to set it and forget it. But let me cheat a little bit here. There we go. It's just like, even you go to shut the side door here, you really have to press to make sure it fits properly. Even the door has major fitment issues, but the door is a fine example of what my number 1 is, and so we're going to save that for number 1. But let's get that door nice and closed. So once again, Fitment. So coming at number 3 is an interesting one, something I didn't really think about when I initially opened this up and did my review. At least I don't remember talking about it, but I've heard quite a few people complain. I've watched quite a few people pretty much every video I've watched so far has mentioned this, and I think they're 100% accurate. You know, everybody's complaining about, I don't know if you want to call it self-shading. Say what? But Neca is just really good at self-shading, making it look like your figure is right out of the cartoon. Even if you look at the cannons up here, they have what I'm trying to get at, which is like they outline certain areas of this laser gun or cannon or whatever you want to call it. Even their figures, let's turn it around because I do have Raphael sitting in the gunner's seat. Even the figures really do look like they're out of the TV screen. A lot of that is just the shading. So the only thing I can think of is, I guess when they were producing this and manufacturing it, you know, I guess in the cartoon they just didn't see it. Which is weird because the top half, right, everything that's green looks fantastic. And once again, the guns look fantastic. But a lot of my complaint is the actual van itself, whether we're talking about the rear or if we're talking about swinging around all the way here. That's where if I had something to spin this, would be a little easier than what I'm doing. There's no, like, lines going through here that would really make it look like this is popping out of your TV. And for me, I'm putting that up there on my list because that's what Neca is known for. It's what they're really good at. I mean, once again, if you look at the top portion of it, they did it. So why did they skip here? Neca, comment below, because I know you're watching my video, right? Comment below, like, what's that about? So if you have any input on that, I would love to know. But to me, that's a big one. And I think that really, you know, for a lot of people, because this has been compared to the Underground Arsenal van a lot, and it seems like every person I've watched so far is picking that over this. I don't have it. I've seen it in person. I still would kind of lean towards this, but I can't say that, you know, indefinitely because I don't have one. But and one of the reasons why people are doing that is that's one of the things that they feel is missing about this, is because that's something Neca is known for, and that's a big deal. So what could be number 1 if that's my number 2? And you might already guess it. If you own this, you probably already know it. But without further ado, number 1 are these hinges. So once again, I talked about the doors earlier. Let me make sure that I really got to open it by there we go, the mirror. The hinges, and I did mention this in my review video, which shows you like how bad it is, because like I noticed the second I opened the door, I was like, man, this is like flimsy. Look at that. So, you know, this is not my area of expertise. You know, could you put metal hinges? I don't know what they could have done differently. I get they hit them nicely, but this makes me a bit nervous. This kind of goes back to me discussing that, you know, you kind of want to set it and forget it, but these hinges to me are just, oh yeah, they make me so nervous. Yeah, so I already have this set up, by the way, temporarily in my room, so I'm kind of setting it and forgetting it, so to speak. It looks nice where it is, but once again, let's turn it around here, and let's look at Raph. Once again, because of these plastic hinges, you know, all this weight on this hinge, it makes me a little bit nervous, you know, on the long run. How's this thing going to hold up? So, to me, that was a big no-no. I don't know how they, you know, when they were test running this, or whatever you want to call it, especially since they had about, what, a year and a half since they took our money, like, they thought the hinges are okay. I feel like they had to talk about it. They had to be like, well, it's a collector's piece, you're not really supposed to play with it, which I get, but people are going to break this, and they're going to be upset. So, once again, that's the 5 things that I hate, but I really don't hate, more correctly dislike, because nothing's perfect about this van. I can't stress I do love it. I think it was worth it. It looks phenomenal in my collection. Matter of fact, I mentioned in my other review video, this is what got me collecting some of the Toon series, because I really was just sticking with the movie line, because it's too damn expensive to be collecting everything. But I bit the bullet with this, so I had to pick up the Brothers, I had to pick up a few other cartoons, and I get why people collect the whole line, and it's an amazing line. But without further ado, guys, this was the video. I hope you enjoyed it. You know to hit that like button if you liked the video, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider hitting that subscription or that subscribe button. As a newer channel, I don't even know if my channel's been around for a month yet. You know, I think I'm around 30-ish subscribers. Every subscription or every subscriber, it counts, guys. It means a lot to me, and it kind of encourages you to continue your channel, to keep growing and throwing videos out there. So if you enjoy it, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Let me know below, what do you think of this? Do you have one? Do you agree with me? Are there other things you think that are wrong with it? I remember a few people mentioning they felt as though this should fold up and go inside like the UA does. I give Neca a quick pass on that, because if you do look at the Toon series, you know, it just sort of looks like when it's out. So there's really no way from, I don't know if I want to use the word engineering, but from an engineering standpoint, that this is really going to fold back in at this scale. So that ultimately doesn't bother me. But I know there's been a few other things I've heard about that just doesn't really bother me. These are the 5 things that bother me. And the last 2, once again, the self-shading, if that's the correct terminology, and the hinges, I think were a big letdown by Neca. I really wish they kind of corrected that. But overall, it's a great van. I think I've chatted enough for you guys. Take it easy. I'm out. Peace.